Hello and welcome to Tech Deals Game Performance Review Battlefield 1. We're playing today on the MSI Apache Pro gaming laptop computer. I have previously reviewed this computer, link in the video description below, but in short, for this price point, this is the best deal on the market at the moment. What do you get for your $1,200? You get an Intel Core i7-6700HQ processor. This is a true quad-core processor with 8 threads up to 3.5 gigahertz. Excellent performance. You get 12 gigabytes of RAM, although the machine I'm actually testing this on has been upgraded to 16. And you get NVIDIA's GeForce GTX 1060 6GB graphics card. Notice I did not say mobile, I said graphics card. This laptop has the same chip in it that desktop GTX 1060s have, providing you with amazing gaming performance. Check out my reviews in the video description below on this laptop to learn more about it, but in short, this is incredible gaming on a reasonably priced gaming laptop. We are playing today at 1080p, full HD resolution, ultra detail preset, anti-aliasing is on, and VSync is turned off. Fraps was used for the minimum, maximum, and average game performance numbers you'll see at the end of this video. It was not used, however, to capture the video that you're going to watch. Instead, an external HD60 Pro hardware capture card was used. There is zero effect on the frame rate because the video was captured on another computer. The numbers in green at the top left corner of the screen are from MSI Afterburner, a free program you can download from MSI to get more information about what your computer is doing in real time. The very first line, GPU 1, well, that is our star attraction, the GTX 1060 6GB card. Why is it labeled GPU 1? That's because GPU 2 is actually Intel's HD 530 integrated graphics. This laptop comes with NVIDIA's technology that will turn on and off the graphics chip for power saving purposes. When you're playing a game such as Battlefield 1, it turns the GTX 1060 on automatically to give you great performance. When you're in Windows, watching YouTube videos, browsing the web, it turns the graphics chip off and switches to Intel's internal graphics chip, which uses less electricity and makes your battery last longer. Very cool technology. So the first number, the percentage, 99%, indicates that we're using all of our graphics performance. That's what's giving us this incredible frame rate we're currently getting, is that incredible GTX 1060. The 77 degrees is the temperature the graphics chip is running at. It's warm, but that's normal for a laptop and it's well within normal parameters. And then we're running at about 1700 megahertz. Now, for those of you who have watched various game performance videos I've done on desktop GTX 1060s, you'll notice that the clock speed here varies and is lower than it is on the desktop cards. That's the compromise. The clock speed has to be reduced in order to get the thermal profile and the power profile within a limit that a laptop can use. And occasionally you will notice that the clock speed drops down a bit, down into the 12 to 1300 megahertz range. That basically means that it's reaching its limits in terms of temperature and performance, and it's dropping its performance back. It will then accelerate when it's able to. It's essentially operating at the limits of what the chip and what a laptop can do. Now, on the desktop side, many desktop 1060s will run closer to 2 gigahertz, so you are taking a 10 to 20% performance penalty for having the chip in a laptop because of the lower clock speed. The actual core count, the amount of CUDA cores, the amount of processing power, is the same between the desktop and the laptop chip, only the frequency has been changed. Now, this was not true in the 900 series. In fact, I don't believe this has ever been true in laptops in the past. If it has, it's been a while, and I certainly don't remember it. The GTX 960M was not the same chip as the GTX. Hang on, that's funny there. I was killed. Some shell or something hit the building, and I was killed by falling debris. That was funny. The 960M and the desktop 960 were completely different chips, different core counts, different CUDA cores, everything. In fact, a 960M mobile chip has about the same performance as a desktop 750 Ti. It's about half the performance of a desktop 960. Whereas here, we have about 90% of the performance of a desktop 1060. That's incredible. And that's thanks to the new production process and improvements in technology that have come out in the past couple of years. This is incredible. This GTX 1060 from a laptop point of view is about 2.5 times faster than the 960M was. So if you have a gaming laptop that had a 960M in it and you're thinking, well, is it worth upgrading to the 1060? Absolutely. A 960 desktop chip compared to a 1060 desktop chip, you're looking at about a 70% performance improvement. It's a great performance, and even that's worth doing. But this is 250% faster than a 960M. So while you can still find deals on laptops with 960Ms, there's some excellent $800 machines with i7 processors and 960Ms. Keep in mind that for about $400-ish, $500 more, you get more than double the graphics performance. That's pretty cool. Moving down to line 2, you have memory 1. This is the VRAM on the graphics card. This is not your main system RAM, it's the video RAM. We are using 3.5 gigabytes of it. Now, it is true that if you were trying to play this on a 3 gigabyte 1060, you would be slightly out of VRAM. Having actually played Battlefield 1 on a 3 gigabyte 1060, it's actually okay. It has to do a little bit of swapping, but it's fine. Now, the other option you have, of course, if you have a 3 gigabyte 1060, is you can always drop the detail from ultra down to high, and then you'll be well within the 3 gigabyte limit. And going forward on 3 gigabyte cards, that's going to be the solution. 2 or 3 years from now, I still believe 3 and 4 gigabyte cards will still play all the current games at 1080p just fine. They just won't do it at ultra detail. You'll have to turn the detail down, but you'll have to turn the detail down anyway because the compute power won't be there. But moving on from that issue, this computer has 6 gigabytes of VRAM, so that's definitely not an issue. The clock speed of this is the same as the desktop cards, 4 gigahertz, and keep in mind it's DDR, so you have to double that to 8 gigahertz. So this is 8 gigahertz GDDR5. It is the same performance, same RAM amount, same speed as the desktop 1060. The third line is our CPU. This is our wonderful i7-6700HQ processor. This is essentially the same i7 chip that's in the desktop. An i7-6700K processor? Well, that's what this is, except it's not overclockable, and the clock speed has been reduced a bit to fit within a laptop, the power profiles and heat temperature, etc. Now you can see that the temperature on the CPU is running just over 70 degrees Celsius. We are using a lot of system resources, which is why both chips are running relatively warm. Now you can hear the fan in this laptop when you're playing games. Now the laptop is completely silent within Windows, but there is a slight fan noise when you're playing games to keep the temperatures within check. It is a very high performance machine. The fourth line, main system RAM, we're using almost 8 gigabytes of RAM. The base system comes with 12. This is the 16 gigabyte model. Could you play this on 12? Absolutely. Now, I personally prefer the 16 gig model, but that's just me, but the 12 gigabyte would be fine for current generation games. Finally, you have our real-time frame rate, which you can see is currently over 60 frames a second. Considering that we are playing Battlefield 1 in ultra detail and we're doing so on a laptop computer and we are getting more than 60 frames a second, that is pretty cool. Honestly, I have yet to find a game that this laptop does not play perfectly at 1080p at higher ultra detail at over 60 frames per second. That was not true of the 960M based GTX 960M laptops that I've been testing, but this 1060 is a beast. Let's take a look at the results. Ultra detail, 1080p, 80 frames per second, average minimum of 55, max of 143. That was perfect performance. While it says minimum 55, I couldn't find a space in there where it was actually under 60. It probably dipped down for 1 or 2 frames, but otherwise that was absolutely perfect, very smooth, very playable in all respects. Like this video if you like it. Don't if you don't. Remember to subscribe to my channel with the big huge red button directly below. Questions and comments in the comment section. And as always, check out my video description. The link to Amazon and Newegg, where I actually bought this laptop on Amazon, but you can buy it either at Amazon or Newegg, as well as my full playlist of videos on this laptop are linked below. Go check those out. I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.